Good morning everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to tell you how to start any seeds. It's so easy and this video is catered really for beginners. Okay, so before we start, all you need for growing seeds is containers. They don't have to have any drainage holes, but you need the right soil, the right temperature, light, air and water. So, for example, there's lots of different seeds you can grow and different sizes. It doesn't have to be technical. These are basil, for example. Now, if I was to show you the seeds for basil, they are very, very, very small, really small. So if I just put some on my hand there, look how small they are, tiny. So they would go on the top of the soil and then you just press down. But I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute. Slightly bigger seed is, for example, the sunflower. So let's have a look at these size seeds. Open up the packet. Slightly bigger. And again, I'm going to show you how to sow those. And then finally, we've got even bigger seeds. So the bigger the seeds, the deeper they go. Now these are sweet corn, for example. And look at the size of these. Much bigger, so they would go deeper into the soil. Like I said, to start any seeds, you need the right temperature. It has to be at least about 15 degrees. This is a heated greenhouse, but you can grow your seeds indoors on a windowsill, above a radiator, or even not above a radiator. It just has to be above 15 degrees, roughly. So, you haven't got any pots. This is, I'm guessing, an old meat tray. Washed. I've got used plastic containers, flowers that were in there, another meat tray. You could use a takeaway container. So if we start off with, say, like this tray, what I'm trying to say is you can grow seeds in anything. You don't have to be buying all this lovely stuff at greenhouses. Right, example. Now, we've got two sets of soil here. Soil is the most important thing. This is seedling compost. Look how fluffy that is. Seedling compost. You need to get this from the garden centres, and it's not that expensive, but it's important you get it. It's light and fluffy. Seeds don't like big lumps to get through. They're only tiny. They're babies. And the difference is this is general compost, which is no good. It's too lumpy. It's too rich. You've got bits of wood in there, and that's for eventually growing your flowers outside in your pots, so you can actually see the difference in compost. So I'm using seedling compost to start off with for growing my seeds. Okay, so I've just put the seedling compost in an old tray, no holes underneath, and there's plenty of soil in there. It doesn't have to be as big as this. It could be much smaller, as I've shown you, like that. And then the different seeds. So we mentioned, say for example, sweet corn, a much bigger seed. So when it's a much bigger seed, it goes deeper. Doesn't have to be perfect, you don't have to get it exactly right. I'll just be putting my finger in there. It's quite deep. Plopping that in there. And then I literally just cover and firm down. Then I'd water. It's very important to keep it moist, not waterlogged, but moist on the top. So you could get a sprayer like this and just water over the top. That's that size seed. Next size seed even, is the sunflower. Again, smaller than the sweet corn, so it wouldn't go so deep. But again, you don't have to get it spot on. So I'll be putting it sort of half a finger, in it goes, and press down. Done. You then water. Okay, so that's the sunflower. Then you've got the basil, for example, a much smaller, tiny seed, in fact, tiny. So you can literally just put those, as I said, they're tiny. You'd actually miss them. So all I would be doing, if I had a container like this, I'd just be shaking them on the top, literally putting them on the top, and then just press down. Just press down. You're not You're not completely covering them. Some get covered, some don't. It doesn't matter. You flatten down and again, water them. Now, all these seeds can go in different containers. You could plant them like that. It doesn't matter. They want to grow, but they won't grow unless you keep them watered. You keep them warm, at least 15 degrees Celsius. You keep them moist, and you also need to cover them initially. This doesn't have to be too technical. This came with a lid. I don't put any holes in, and I will just put that on the top. And then every other day I would water it. And eventually it would germinate, which means they would start growing from the soil. As soon as you see any growth, you take the lid off because you don't want them to rot. And then they would begin, and then they begin their life further up. They want the sun. They want to see the sun. So if you put it on your windowsill, you might get some seeds going towards the sun. It doesn't really matter, but we can talk about potting on then. And of course, labelling is also very important because you forget what you've done. This is a plastic label, but it's a used label, an old label, and you wouldn't have room, but you put that on the top and then you just put your label there. And that would stay on the windowsill, and you're watering it, spraying it, just the top bit every couple of days. And then you're seeing your seedlings come up, and once they come up, what a wonderful feeling that is, believe me. Now, these ones are in the background. These exactly what I did. These are candulas, orange, very easy to grow. Look, there's even a marigold that's been caught in there. It doesn't matter, it really doesn't matter. And they'll go out when it's a bit warmer. So yeah, and just another idea, if you haven't got a proper propagator, a propagator is a plastic thing that goes over the top to seal all the seeds in. And the reason we do that is so that there's moisture. This one, for example, this I've just put in, for example, soil, and then I just cover it with a bag. And this can go sit on your windowsill, obviously a tray underneath so you can water it. But nothing technical about it. Doesn't have to be, I don't necessarily need to seal it. It could be sealed if you have a smaller container. It's so easy to grow seeds. I hope that's helped, and in my next video we will pot on. Thanks very much, and please subscribe.